Mr. Woods, Channel 82 noticeably off the air on Cablevision, now Logic, after 7 years. What's going on?
Yes, we are off the air. Today, we couldn't come to agreement with Cablevision. Actually, there was no forum to come to an agreement, but we were asked to pay to provide them with our content, and we just said we're not paying because it costs for us to produce content. It's hard enough trying to produce content, quality content, for television. So it doesn't make sense for us to pay them when we know that all the other channels get paid for. So
Now, historically, 7 years, there's never been a formal agreement to say that you were to pay them. Where is this coming from, in your opinion?
well, in the beginning, we are a leased channel, and leased channels are come under the cable company that has the channel at the time. So in the initial thing was always that a leased channel, it was that we pay for the channel. But what had happened was we told him from the beginning that that's not possible. And at the time, Terry Robertson, who was the general manager, and I have to give kudos to him, because he said, no, this is a good thing for the community. He said, this is great for the community. You have these young guys here who are producing this local content that's positive. Let's give them a chance. Let's put it on. And in the beginning, we were told that we won't have to pay until we were sent a bill.
Were you ever sent a bill?
No. So therefore, we've been operating under this opposite all this time. Because if you think about it, how could we be on the air for that long? If someone's not paying something, how could they be on the air for 6 years? It means that I should have a monumental bill and be in some serious debt right now, which I'm not. So that proves the point that we had an agreement to operate that way.
But then some may say you've had a free ride for 7 years. Why won't you pay now?
Well, I'll tell you something, Carla. In the beginning, I might have agreed with that because I didn't go to school for filming. This became a dream and a passion and a vision of mine to put more locals on TV. And so in the beginning, it seemed like an opportunity. Yes, we want to put locals on TV. But after understanding more about how the industry operates, is that content is paid for to be on television by cable companies. Cable companies pay channels every month, a certain amount per subscriber, to be on television for that content. Mm-hmm. So my thing is that if we are of no value, that's fine. But we're not asking Cablevision to pay us. Well, we weren't asking Cablevision to pay us for the content. So in essence, looking at it in the way the broadcast industry looks at it, we were providing them and their viewers with free content for 7 years.
Do you have numbers? How many viewers were you averaging per month or per year?
Well, at one point, they gave us some stats, but we never really got monthly stats from them. But from the one time that we were given stats were, at the time, they're trying to use it against us, to say we don't have as much as other channels. But that was great for Bermuda when you look at viewership on other entities. We were good. So we was averaging about 6,000 to 7,000 viewers a day based on how many boxes were logging in to the system. So we thought that was a great thing. It wasn't like one person was watching, and we even built from there. And also, just from personal observation, everyone that's been on the channel can attest to the fact that when they have been on the channel, when they walk down the street, so many people say that they saw them. So people are not going to say they saw you if they didn't see you. And Carla, you can attest to that from the show that you've had on there, how many people talk to you on a daily basis and say that they've seen your show. So this goes for everybody else that's been on the channel as well.
So are you in Logic at an impasse? Because I've learned that you went and collected equipment. So is this relationship, as far as you can see, totally over?
It seems that way. What happened is I got a phone call. Just to backtrack a bit, I had a meeting in November where they told me that this would happen. But in that meeting, a lot was said, and it was just me in the meeting. But a lot was said in terms of, well, this is a negotiation. We don't want to look like, we don't want it just to be a David and Goliath situation. We're not trying to, just take you off. But what are you prepared to pay? And
now, to be clear, is this with the current management or is this with the former GM, Mr. Robertson?
No, this is with the current. This is with Mr. Alan Smith, who this who this conversation happened with. And there was another person in the room who I'm not going to mention at this point.
So what happens next? I mean, you're on WOW. Now I have to ask you, do you pay WOW or does WOW pay you?
No, this is the funny thing. The whole reason we are on WOW is because they were inundated for years with calls asking for Channel 82. And it got to a point where I guess they couldn't take the amount of people that were calling anymore, that they said, look, when can you be put on Channel on WOW? And so hence that's what happened. So they see the value. So right there and then, they saw the value in our content because so many customers were calling. The thing is with Cablevision, we're always been on Cablevision. This is the first time in 7 years that we've actually been off the air. So now we will see what the community feels about it. It's out of my hands now. It's really about the community. Carl, I just want to say this. This was a sacrifice for me just to do this. I talked this over several years ago. I talked this over with my wife. I was like, look, I want to go to this channel. And she supported me, but it's been a very hard road. And we've managed to do a lot with very little. Mm-hmm. And I'm proud of that. But now I think it's time to see if those who do watch and those who do enjoy it, if we can all rally together and really demand that it either be put back on the air and that we be compensated for it like other channels are being compensated.
So if they stand firm in how they feel that you must pay this amount per month, are you willing to permanently walk away?
Yes, we are not paying 1 cent to provide them with content. It doesn't make sense for me to do that. That's why hence I never paid from the very beginning. And they knew that. And every time it was mentioned, I would say, I need to take it off the air. Like, look, I'm not getting rich off of this. I left a good paying job to do this. And that was my decision, as my wife would say, and it's fine. So I made no qualms about that. But I'm not now going to put myself in debt for something that if the community doesn't want it.
So, Mr. Woods, I mean, what's next for you?
I mean, next is we look at other options, where we've just started streaming on a mobile app, which we're working on with a partner of mine. So we're probably going to try to start amping up the mobile app because a lot of people are leaving cable anyway. So we're trying to look at those options. We'll stay on WOW, and at this point we will be exclusively on WOW. So WOW customers will get to enjoy what they couldn't enjoy for years, and our Cablevision customers who would like to see it will definitely have to call and request it. And I think that, I feel that there are a lot of people that do watch. They may not watch every day, but they do watch and they see things that they like. When they see something like they watch. And they like to see local content.
Well, I was going to ask you, with G-Box and everything else, why do you think it's so important for local content to be available?
Well, I think local content brings the community together. And a personal observation of mine is the fact that when you don't see locals doing positive things, and I like to tell people this, we're not the news. So if you look at our channel, a lot of it and most of it is feel-good, family, positive content. And that's what we decided to focus on from the beginning. And this is what we're providing. So we see ourselves as actually value added to Cablevision's network. And at this point, it seems like they don't see us as value added. And it's fine, because that's business. So what I told them is that we will let the community speak. I'm going to let the community know how I feel about the situation, and then we'll see if the community feels the same way. Because the way I look at it is a David and Goliath situation, and the only leverage that I have at this point, if I want to keep providing the Cablevision viewers with this content, is for them to call Cablevision and let it be known.